Why does Sonic's pick rate feel so low in outcome memories? Now, I'm not saying no one picks the blue blur, but from memory and from experience, I wouldn't see that many, at least in my lobbies. So, I'm making this video on why it may feel this way. So if you enjoyed this rant, like and subscribe and comment on the video. The reason people may not play Sonic may be due to his first move, Drop Dash. I'll give a brief description on this move for those who don't know. Sonic will curl up into a ball with increased speed. In this state, he is unable to be harmed with minimal exceptions, for example, Fleetway's burst option. While in this state, he's able to stun the killer. Is it good? No. Is it viable? Sometimes. The problem with this move is, it's not good for stunning at all. Well, I won't say that it's useless, but it isn't really good at doing its job. The real reason for this move is to abuse the iframes that you have in it. The only other reason I can think of why you wouldn't want to use this move to stun is because of the penalty reload being worse if you land all three. You see, with Sonic, if you land all 3 stuns with Drop Dash, you actually have a 35-second cooldown. But if you only land up to 2 stuns, you have a 27-second cooldown. But unlike the 3-hit version of this move, the second hit or just the Drop Dash alone can be used to escape the killer. So if you put the clues together, the iframes in Drop Dash, the cooldown in Drop Dash, and then the iframes you get in the rest of the move, it's pretty obvious on why you wouldn't really use it to stun, but to get away. Now, I'm not saying you can't use the 3 stun variant of the move. I'm just saying that more often than not, you're not going to be using it that way because you're putting yourself in danger more than anything. At most, one of the main reasons you would usually do Drop Dash is to get meter back, your dodge meter. It's the passive that's taught to Sonic that allows him to take more damage, or at least avoid hits. Now, this move isn't bad at all. For what it does, it gets the job done. But for a stun, it feels more like a safety net than an actual stun to back the killer off. Another problem that this move has is that it's pretty hard to land. But let's just say you do land the Drop Dash, or at least the first hit of it. You may not even be able to follow up off it due to the killer being hit with knockback with each Drop Dash. And if they're in the air, it's guaranteed not even being able to follow up off it. But to put it simply, the Drop Dash is more of use for a safety net to get away than an actual stun. The stun of the move isn't actually that good, only being 5 seconds. And finally, the cooldown for the 3-hit stun of the move is bad. It doesn't make sense that a move that's hard to land penalizes you for landing more of it when it actually does happen. Now, when it comes to peel out's a whole different kind of worm. Peel out is a move that Sonic can use that takes 4 seconds to wind up. In this wind up, Sonic cannot do anything but jump. Once the wind up is gone, Sonic will go spinning around the map for several seconds with a FOV screen that seems to be increased. Now, this move is not really used for getting away unless absolutely necessary, and if you can even find the right time. The real reason for this move is to actually save teammates. And that one reason may be the reason why people don't like playing Sonic. You see, Sonic's cooldown for this move is dependent on if he has anyone picked up or not. Now, I don't mean, oh, you pick up one survivor, so now even if they get off, you get the No. I mean that if the survivor does not get off when the move stops with you, the cooldown is 45 seconds, almost an entire minute. And I could be wrong, but the Wikipedia says the move is actually 25 seconds if you have a teammate carried with you when it ends. Now, if you think real long and hard, you can realize that you're playing outcome memories. And when you play outcome memories, your teammates are either 50-50 of being the best or the worst. Most of the time, Sonic isn't gonna get their teammate all the way, or the teammate won't stick with the Sonic all the way throughout the peel out. Why do they jump out your peel out? I don't know. I guess they just like hopping. So not only are they hurting you, but they're also hurting themselves if it's near a killer. I cannot say how many times back in 0.1 I used to play Sonic a lot, and the amount of people that would hop out my peel out and die because of it is a lot. So I really had to just stop peeling out other people and only peel out with the teammates that I knew. And that was pretty much only the people that I played with in the VC when I played this game, which was my friends. But other than people ruining your peel out, the move is just bad for moving in the terrain that Outcome Memories has till this day. There's so many bumps and edges to get stuck on in this game. There's so much terrain that you gotta hop over on a game that has jump fatigue. And then there's Not Perfect. This map is probably the worst Sonic map of all time. Unlike most Outcome Memories maps, this map actually has no invisible walls, which means you can go pretty far out of it. Out of bounds, I mean. Sonic's peel out is debatably the worst move on this map due to the fact that the momentum of the move is so inconsistent. You telling me I can slide off the map if I move up a ramp, but if I try to go on a spring, I don't keep any momentum. Now this isn't the case all the time. Sometimes you can actually go on a spring and you actually do keep the momentum, but most of the time, from my experience, you wouldn't keep it at all. But when you go up a ramp with Sonic, you go flying in the direction you go up on, which should make sense. But you know, if that makes sense, then why don't, you know, springs keep the momentum that you have? Now, this was pretty bad in 0.1. You know, when you fall off the map and you take what, 40, 35 damage? It's even worse in 0.2. I believe they actually shadow buffed the zone, or at least the void, where it does now 60, 40, maybe 50 damage to the survivor now. Now, this was actually, I don't really know what to think of this shadow buff, nerf, or change to the map. It's kind of whatever, but for Sonic mains and for anyone that he's carrying on this map, it's practically gonna be the reason you die more often than not than the actual killer. Now, to save time for you and me, I'll go ahead and cut to the other half of the video I wanted to make. The rest of Sonic's problems, at least, is his LMS and his passives. Or at least the one passive that he has that involves LMS. So really just LMS. We all know about Sonic's guilt passive. He takes practically he does take 25% extra damage when in the last man standing. Now this was reasonable back in 0.1. He was really the reason people lived back in the day against 2011X when he was, you know, dominating the lobby. I'm not saying he was broken. He was actually pretty weak. But when it was in a good lobby, he was the reason people lived. Now, when you talk about nowadays, when you got the Big K, Stripwire, and then the iframe King, Fleetway, it's pretty bad. Now, for Colossus in the matchup for Sonic, it actually supposedly is in Sonic's favor due to Colossus being so slow, having spin dash to dodge, charge, and then, you know, him being naturally pretty fast, or the fastest survivor on the ground, not including any moves. But for other killers, it's pretty much GG. He's not winning that LMS. Fleetway as well, Fleetway. Tripwire has mines that bypass dodge meter, and Sonic really can't use spin dash with that move unless he knows exactly where the mines are at. And 2011X, well, 2011X was naturally good against Sonic and back in the day, so he's gonna have a hard matchup against that as well. But that's pretty much all I can think of at the moment. I'm sure I missed some things, obviously, but I like to keep these videos brief and just talk about the main points that I can come to think of. Because really, a lot of people have already talked about this on why he's, you know, maybe not be played as much, or why he's not really a comfort pick, or whatever you want to call it, or whatnot. But other than that, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Oh, and I hope you saw that cool or moment I had against the Fleetway there where I just stood in front of him because I knew the distance of his Fateful Drain. Yeah, okay, bye now.